Welcome to the Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station. You're joined by your host, Ross Feingold, and today our guest is Chef Fred of the Indigo Hotel here in Taipei, one of Taipei's newest hotels. Chef Fred, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here to tell us about the wonderful food you'll be cooking at the TR Bar and Kitchen at the Indigo. But before we talk about the new hotel and restaurant, tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm going to ask you a really difficult question because I love to start out with a difficult question. Did you always want to be a chef from when you were a child?
Yeah, because when I was young, growing up in the south of France, my father was farmer. My mom is nurse in hospital. And I grew up in a mountain in the south of France. And all my family have a garden, very take care about healthy food every time. And when I was young, I started to work in a summer in a restaurant when I was 16 years old, the first time. And I was not pretty good at school. So I started to work. I said, oh, okay, I want to do a cook. And I started a culinary school in my hometown, in the Alps. And after, I increased my certificate in the south of France, in Toulon.
Now, are those cooking schools in France, are they like what we see in those Hollywood movies when some silly American like me goes to France because they think they're going to become the next five-star hotel or Michelin chef, and there's always this old man who's like the head of the cooking school, and it's kind of like going to military school, right? He's very strict. It looks like he's going to hit the people or the students. So what's it like to study in France to be a chef? Tell us a little bit about that.
So the study, you have different kind of study in French for culinary school. You have special only kitchen or hotellerie. It means hotel, everything. But me, I make only kitchen.
And for the kitchen, did you specialize right away in your studies in things like dessert? Because obviously dessert, that's very important to French cuisine, or seafood or steak. I mean, what kind of specialization do you learn? Or when you're in school, you learn a little bit about everything, and then once you start working, you begin to specialize?
Yes, at school, we learn for everything, a little. And after, we have some training period during the school, and we go work in a restaurant.
Now, be honest with us, Chef Fred. Was there anything in school where you got a bad grade in cooking school? Like, were you bad at soup and good at seafood, or were you good at dessert and bad at fish? Tell us about your strengths and your weaknesses when you were learning how to cook. And was there something you just didn't want to learn? You say, I'm never going to cook this. I don't want to learn how to make fried chicken. It's too American. Tell us something you were good at and bad at.
Yeah, because I come from to the south of France. It's like more fish or everything, and it's very funny because when I finish the school, I go in Paris in a very high-level restaurant in a 3 Michelin star, and so many ingredients I never see at school. And
you mean like the fruits and the vegetables, or something else?
Yeah, it's vegetable, mushroom, white mushroom, like meat, some special seafood. North Sea fish, because me, I come from the Mediterranean. So yeah, after this school, after my graduates, I go to Paris for learn this, for learn the very high.
And the chefs you worked with when you went to Paris, were they surprised? They say, what's wrong with you? You come from the south of France and you've never seen this fish? Did that create tension between the people from the south and the chefs from the north?
Yeah, sure, because yeah, it's true. When I was, some chef asked me, go take this fish. I said, I don't know what is it, because you have different name, in French. So it's very funny. And I have good opportunity to go in Paris, and I start to work in a Michelin star restaurant.
Right out of school, your
yes,
first job.
When I graduate, after I go directly in Paris.
And is that because they looked at your school record, or you took a test? You went to this Michelin restaurant in Paris. Did they make you do a cooking test and then they hire you? How did you get the job?
No, I get a job because I have one family in Paris and can bring me in this house because it's very expensive. When we're young, I don't have money, I have nothing. So I live with them for 2 years. And I start in a very famous restaurant when I was 22 years old, yeah. And after I increased 1 Michelin star, 2 Michelin stars, 3 Michelin star.
The same restaurant got
No,
more
the
stars, or
same.
you switch
No, I
restaurants?
switch the restaurant, but I keep going inside in Paris, yeah.
And you speak English very well. Is that part of your studies? For example, when you were learning in cooking school, or when you went to work in the restaurant in Paris, obviously they have a lot of tourists in Paris. Was foreign language ever relevant, or everything was always in French until you left France to work outside of France?
I learned a little bit by myself when I work in Paris, because you have so many foreigners coming for learn in the kitchen. So you have all the countries.
The colleagues?
Yeah, the colleagues. You have all the countries around the world.
Oh.
You have Asian people, American people, English people, everywhere. So we communicate only in English. Yeah.
So you had to learn all the food names in
Yes.
English, all those fish. You said some of the fishes
Yeah.
you didn't even know coming from the south of France to the north of France. Then you had to learn their names in English.
Yeah. So
Have you learned those names in Mandarin as well? Because I've been studying Mandarin for 25 years, and even the food names I still don't know, because it's so complex to learn the names of all these fish and things in a foreign language. It must be very difficult. So how many years did you work in the restaurants in Paris?
I work almost 12 years in different restaurants.
And is that generally a dinner or lunch, or what kind of meals did you typically focus on when you were working in Paris?
Michelin restaurant.
But that would be dinner usually?
Lunch and dinner.
A lunch and dinner.
Lunch and
And of course, for French cuisine, we all know that wine is very important.
Yes,
and wine pairings.
pairing, yeah.
And did you learn about that in school, or is that something you learn on the job as well? Or it typically is not part of your work as a chef. You don't get asked that question because there's always a sommelier in the nice restaurants anyway.
No, it's very important. It's very important.
So tell us a little bit about how did you learn the knowledge of the wines?
I learn at work, usually. Because we work together with a sommelier, as you said. And maybe when we design a menu, if we have guests request some wine, we need to design the menu in function of this of the pairing, you know. So we work together for.
And when you were working in the restaurants in Paris, did you also work on any big events like weddings or something like that, where you had to make a meal for a big?
Yeah, we work every year. We work for the Roland Garros, you know, it's very famous.
The tennis stadium, yeah.
Yeah. For
The French Open.
The French Open, so it's very famous every year. Yeah. We make for 3 days. It's completely crazy, like 5,000 each day meal. So
wow, yeah, that is crazy. Now, the people in France, like the chefs, they're very knowledgeable about food. Tell us some stories. Did anything ever go wrong? Did the customer in Paris ever send the food back and say, you know, the soup is cold, or the fish or the steak are not cooked the right way? You ever get any complaints like that? And tell us some stories about things that went wrong in the Paris restaurant.
Yeah, of course we have so many complaints every time for the guest. I remember one time we have a very regular guest. And you know, he come to eat every lunch, and we make different dish.
He didn't always eat the same thing. He ordered different things.
Yeah, he want different thing. And when he go out the restaurant, he just cross the street, and you have the kitchen very close to the street. And every day he pass, he said, "Sir, everything okay?" He said, "Oh, the bread and butter was good."
He comes to a 5-star, or a 5-star hotel, or a Michelin restaurant. That's all he could say is the bread and butter.
Yeah. Because every day he's complaining about.
But he still keeps coming.
Yes.
Okay. Any other things that ever go wrong? Did you ever, for example, you go to the market in the morning to buy something you know that you need for the menu, and they don't have it for you. They don't have it.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh, when I work, sometimes One times I work in a restaurant in Paris. I have to make a special dish for Monday, and we close Saturday, Sunday, and I forget order.
You forget.
Yeah.
How did you forget? You're an experienced chef.
So, but I was just a sous chef at this time, and I do the preparation at home during the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what time would you typically go to the markets in Paris in the morning to buy fresh foods, fish, vegetables? Is that like one of those places where you have to go there at like 4 a.m. to get the best stuff?
Yeah, normally we don't go in the market. Is people bring.
They come to the because you're a
yes.
Michelin restaurant, so you get better treatment.
And we go in Rungis, is the most big market of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Rungis,
Mm-hmm.
and the best is 3 in the morning. Yeah,
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
For does it make a difference?
It starts, yeah.
For vegetables and fish and seafood, all at 3 a.m. or does the seafood come a little later?
No, the first is the fish. The 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. you have fish.
So being a chef is like a 24-hour job. You got to be at the market at 2 a.m. You got to prepare dinner and then clean up after dinner, and you'll finish. Well, you see, in Paris, the people eat dinner very late.
Yeah.
So when do you ever sleep?
Not a lot.
And is that why you decided to work overseas? You were looking for something a little more laid back than Paris?
Yeah, people eat more early, so yes, it's better. It's better than Europe.
After working in Paris for a number of years, you decided to go overseas. Was Asia your only choice, or did you think about? I'm America. Did you think about working in America or in London? A lot of French people work in restaurants in London as well, or you really wanted to work in Asia? It was something that you wanted to try.
It's just one chef work with him in Paris, and he offered me an opportunity to come for support the team in Taipei. So he told me, "You interesting for going Taipei?" I said, "Yeah, why not? I don't know. I won't try. I won't move in another country."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Let's go." And one month after, I was in Taipei.
And when you first came to your first experience as a chef, French chef in Taipei, what was different? What was different about the way the kitchen operated, or the customer request? Tell us a little bit about the differences between being in a French restaurant in Asia, in Taipei, versus back home in France.
The first is the language, because it's very difficult. Our job is completely different.
How so?
Maybe for the product coming more late in Taiwan than French. And the guests start to eat night at 5:30.
And does that make it more challenging to do your job versus being in
Yes.
France? Why is that?
Because after we need adapt about the test. So sometimes something I feel so good or tasty, and people feel very salty. This is the main point. When I arrived in Taipei, my cuisine was too salty.
Who told you that?
The guest.
The guest told you. Not your boss. The guest told you.
The guest told me, "Oh, it's too salty." So.
And that was for everything you prepared? Was it appetizers, main course? Everything was too salty?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that feedback when you were in Paris? Or you come to Asia, it's the first time anyone ever tells you that your food is...
Yeah, it's the first time, yeah.
And so how did you adjust? You know, you've been working as a chef for many years. You're quite good.
Yeah.
And you're the expert. You know how much salt to put in.
Yeah, but we need reduce, you need different, and the product is different.
Which products?
Like a fish or meat. The meat is completely different.
Why? But most of the meats you use in the kitchen in Taipei come from where? Where do you usually source?
Now is or Japan or Australia.
And when you're in Paris, it's all local from France?
Only from France, yeah.
Only from France,
yeah.
Okay. So for French cooking, does it make a difference if you're using beef from France versus beef from Australia or Japan?
Yes, because it's completely different. The texture of the meat is completely different.
So you have to adjust the cooking time, for example?
Yeah. Adapt everything, the cooking time, the salty, the rest time, the temperature we serve to the guests, because in French we eat like rare.
Yes. And the Taiwan customers, they don't like rare?
Medium, yeah.
And what about the desserts? What's the difference for the Taiwan customers when it comes to French desserts? What's their preferences or differences versus the real thing back in Paris?
Same like salt, less sugar.
But usually people say Taiwan customers they like sweet food, no?
Yeah, sweet food, but the balance need to be just, not too sweet. In French we have a very sweet dessert, like macaron is sweet. Yeah. In Taiwan they like more balance. More balance.
So what is the favorite French dessert for people in Taiwan, would you say? Or some of the favorites?
Their favorite now, they love chocolate. I make very nice chocolate desserts.
Such as what? Cakes or puddings or?
Is a sorbet chocolate with
sorbet.
Yeah, with a chocolate mousse and chocolate creamy. Yeah, it's only chocolate, but I adapt the balance for the Taiwanese people.
Yeah, this sounds very good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to come over and
and it's very interesting about dessert for Taiwan because you have very nice fruits, fresh fruits.
Ah, so you incorporate the local fruits
yes.
into the French recipes.
Yes. Now we have a strawberry, but just finished. Now we have a pineapple coming, and after is mango. So.
Okay, well, we're going to talk some more about cooking French food at the Indigo North Taipei with Chef Fred right after these important messages. Welcome back to the Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station. I am joined today by Chef Fred from the Indigo North, one of Taipei's newest hotels. Chef Fred, you are now the head chef of a great new restaurant, the TR Bar and Kitchen. Tell us a bit about the concept of this new restaurant.
Donc this is a concept is a sharing table.
What does that mean? What is a sharing table? Because typically in Chinese cooking, you all sit around a big table and everybody would take food together from the round, in English we call it the lazy Susan, right? So when you say sharing food in Taiwan, that's what I think of. But tell us about what you mean by sharing table.
I make like a big portion for sharing because Taiwanese people love this. So we have a la carte. We have some set menu now, and we have a la carte. And the portion is quite big for 2-3 people.
Even though it's just one portion, it almost sounds more like American-sized portions.
Yes, and we have some very traditional. I make French food, Mediterranean, not very French food. It's like Mediterranean comfort food with beautiful products from Taiwan.
When you say beautiful products, are you referring to the protein, the fish, the beef, or are you referring to
fish,
the fruits
fish,
and vegetables? What are you referring to?
Fish and seafood come only from Taiwan.
Exclusively from Taiwan?
Yes.
No,
yes.
Not from Japan or?
No,
okay.
No, I sell only in Taiwan. Yeah, because I use only the seasonal product.
Oh, okay. So the menu would change how often then?
Some item, if is delayed, I change after 1 week, 2 weeks, and some other dish is stable. I can keep 1 month.
And would most of the products come from northern Taiwan, or some of them come from southern Taiwan, or it's all over Taiwan?
All of Taiwan. I have this time my pineapple come from to the south of Taiwan. I have my chicken. It come from to Puli in the middle of Taiwan. It's a mountain chicken. So I visit the farmer, everything. Even like vanilla come from to Puli. It's a very nice vanilla.
I know a lot of Taiwanese, they love those mountain chickens, but I know a lot of foreigners who come to Taiwan and they think it's not like those American chickens, kind of plump and juicy. They think it's a bit stringy, but Taiwanese love the mountain chickens.
Yeah, it's very beautiful product. I love to work this product because it's very close from French chicken. It's very close, very tasty, and we need some process for beginning tender. Yeah.
What about beef? Because Taiwan doesn't produce a lot of beef. So where do you source the beef products?
So we have from Australia, And sometimes for Japanese one, if I have some special request, I can use Japanese one.
And obviously pork is easily available here in Taiwan. There's a lot of domestic pork.
Yeah, so I have a black pork.
What's that?
Is a very local, high quality pork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the middle of Taiwan too.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this one, and I use Spanish pork for Iberico.
Mm-hmm. And is this kind of menu concept, is it more for lunch or more for dinner, or it works both, whether lunch or dinner? Because you said it's big portions. Do Taiwanese want to eat a big lunch and a small dinner, or do they want to eat a small lunch and a big dinner?
Yeah, but I have some set menu too. So for the lunchtime, I have a set menu. It's more fast.
Mm-hmm. And the name of the restaurant includes bar, but it's still okay to bring your kids. Is this? Would you say the concept is family friendly? It's definitely for kids as well.
Yeah, because we have a big outside place. Too, and in the weekend is all family place. It's very comfortable for family place.
Is there a kids menu as well?
Not yet, but I work on this.
Okay. Speaking of working, right now we know that the hotels and restaurant business in Taiwan is suffering a bit because of the virus. So not a lot of tourists. So a lot of hotels have less people. Maybe some people in Taiwan who live in Taiwan, they're afraid of going to restaurants. What do you do as a chef to make customers feel that it's safe to come to a restaurant? You know, what do you tell your staff? What different things do you do in the kitchen, or for the waiters who bring the food to the tables? What do you tell them as the guy who's in charge that they need to do to make sure that the customers feel safe coming to a restaurant at a time like this?
The first thing, we have a level of hygiene very high in this hotel for the new opening. And after we no serve the buffet now. We serve only a la carte, so we take care.
So that's one way to keep the restaurant safe and the customers.
Yes.
No buffet.
No buffet.
And what is the danger, from your perspective as a chef? What is the danger of the buffet? Or do you think actually the buffet is fine, it's not a problem? But from your perspective, what's the danger with the buffet? Is it the customers touching the food or breathing on the food? Is it the staff that might touch the food? What's the danger?
I think many customer can touch the same fork or spoon, or they are very close to the dish. Yeah.
Because some buffet in Taipei, they're still operating, but they say, oh, we'll have the staff will serve the food, so the customer can't touch the food. It'll just be staff.
Yeah.
But you've decided just no buffet.
Yeah, we decided no buffet. Yeah. So we have a la carte in the breakfast. We have a two set menu. One in continental Western and another one Chinese. And now we start to maybe make third one for mixed together, because we have so many customers in a weekend, because Taiwanese people like go take breakfast in the weekend in a hotel. So,
and they're not traveling overseas, so if they want to have a nice meal, then the options are to go to a nice restaurant like your restaurant, right? They're not taking any trips to Hong Kong or Japan, so they have money to spend because they're not traveling overseas. So ironically, you're still busy on the weekends because people still want to go out for a nice meal. What about the staff, the waiters, and what do you tell them as far as safety measures? Anything different than you would do during normal times?
Everybody wears a mask. Yeah. And they wash the hands, take the glove.
So they're serving the food with gloves now?
Yes.
And normally you wouldn't do that?
When we touch the food, yes. When you cut the food, yes.
But the waiters would normally not wear.
No.
Yeah, but now they are. Do you think these things will become permanent after the worst of after the virus situation improves? Do you think it'll become permanent that the waiters need to wear gloves and masks too?
I don't know, but in kitchen it's important to have very high hygiene. Yeah.
And well, of course we hope that the situation improves quickly, and then your restaurant is going to be really busy. You'll have the formal grand opening. Talk a bit more about the future. 3 months from now, 6 months from now, What do you think will be going on in your restaurant as far as menu changes and things like that? What do you think, where do you want to be 6 months or a year from now in the restaurant? Because it's a new restaurant, so you might have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, we need to make some adjustments. So I try different dish and I listen the guests, the customer. If they want to change something, they want another set menu. We try to improve now. So we have different set menu, and some people said, "Oh, we need another thing,"
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, can you give us an example?
Many people ask me like a special menu, or something for pre-order. You have some. If you want something special, we can do, but we need pre-order. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what kind of thing would people pre-order in a Mediterranean restaurant in Taipei? What would be said? Because in Chinese cooking you might want to order like the Beijing duck, right, 24 hours before. But in a Mediterranean restaurant, what would people need to pre-order?
I make like a sea bass or wallfish in a sea salt crust.
Mm-hmm.
I can make a beef Wellington as well.
And how long does that take? How much pre-order do you need?
On one day,
okay.
24 hours, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's more work for you.
yeah, but
the customer always comes first, right?
Yes. And you have some specialty like Wellington beef, everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what other special dishes could customers find on your menu that they cannot find in other restaurants in Taipei?
I have some very nice squid stuffing.
What's it stuffed with?
With a vegetable.
Okay.
It's a vegetarian dish. Yeah, mm-hmm. Vegetable on the inside, no meat.
No meat.
And nobody does this in Taiwan, yeah.
And is this something you developed on your own in Taipei? It's your own recipe, or it's something that you learned in Paris?
No, it's my own recipe because one day I found in the market very nice and beautiful small squid with a good size, and I said, oh, it's very nice, maybe make a mix with a skewer, like a night market style, and with a European skill, yeah. So it was funny. Yeah.
And does that take longer to make or normal preparation time?
Normal preparation time.
Okay, so it's squid stuffed with vegetable.
Yes.
Served on a skewer.
Yeah.
And how is it cooked? Is it barbecue or boiled?
On the plancha, yeah, on the plancha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that does sound delicious. So you heard it here, exclusively at Chef Fred at TR Bar and Kitchen is the skewered squid stuffed with vegetable. What about desserts? Do you have a dessert that only you make in Taipei? No one else makes it?
Yeah, I make a strawberry pistachio tiramisu.
You're gonna have to say that a little bit slowly because a lot of people in the audience don't speak French.
Tiramisu with pistachio and
pistachio and strawberry.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is it? Is it just? How would you describe the taste? Is it sweet or what makes it special?
Is balance with pistachio and strawberry is very interesting because pistachio is strong but delicate, not too sweet, and the strawberry is a punch. You have a strawberry flavor, and the balance is very nice.
And you use the Taiwan strawberries?
Yes.
And what about the pistachios?
I come from Sicilia.
From
Sicilia, south of Italy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because no pistachios in Italy.
Yeah.
But are the pistachios are they roasted already, or are they just raw pistachios?
Is a base. Is a paste.
Oh, it's a paste. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that always available, or because you said it's special, is it available every day on the menu, or only when Chef Fred is in a good mood and he says, "I'll make my special tiramisu with pistachio sugar"?
No, now it's available every day.
Available every day.
Yeah.
And you'll keep this available because you said the menu is going to change fairly frequently. Seasonal change. Is that
Yeah,
a
yeah,
seasonal? Yeah. Is that a seasonal special, or you think you'll always have this
Now
one?
I work on a pineapple desserts.
Okay, tell us about those. Is it a cake? Is it a sorbet? Because you do chocolate sorbet. Will you do pineapple sorbet?
Yeah, it's a pineapple and pineapple sorbet with passion and pineapple crème. Pineapple with vanilla and syrup. And on the top, passion fruit mousse.
But what about, I was always told that in Taiwan, people don't like to have food that's hot and cold together. but if they eat Mediterranean food, it's okay to have the sorbet. People are still comfortable with that. Because in Chinese cooking, they say, oh, we don't mix the hot and the cold. It's not good for your stomach.
Yes, yeah, but me, for me, I make these desserts. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it sells well. It's very popular.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about the bar part? Because I like to drink alcohol. I'll admit it. Of course, if you're under 18, you shouldn't drink alcohol, and if you drink alcohol, you obviously shouldn't drive. But what about the bar part of the restaurant? What's special about that? Do you feature French wines or wines from other countries? Does it pairs well with the Mediterranean food? Tell us a little bit about the bar.
Yeah, we have we have the wine list now in the bar, and in the future we can increase like a small bites. We work on this, and like tell you a small skewer, squid. I want to make a small burger, but switch with sausage because I make homemade sausage.
So it's a great place to go just for a happy hour as well, because you have you'll have the small bites.
Yes.
You can have drinks. You don't have to go there for the big dinner, for the a la carte.
Yeah.
Because you said the portions are very very large. But you'll do the bar size.
The bar food, yeah.
Okay, and that is the bar already open, operating now? People could go there just for drinks.
Yes. The bar is
you don't have to go there you don't have to go there for dinner.
Yeah, we can. It's closed now at 9:30.
Okay, but that's not too early, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what about staff? How are they trained? Do you train them in the Mediterranean menu? You have to instruct them and teach them what Mediterranean food is?
Yeah, I need to make food testing first because I need to understand the taste.
Yeah, well, as a customer, it always makes me a little crazy if I ask the waiter, I say, is this good? And they say, I don't know, I haven't tried it.
Yes, this is important. This is the main point. We need people test.
So they try everything.
They try everything and explain. I said, you test the food.
And does the waiter ever taste something and say, Chef Fred, this is terrible. I can't recommend it to the customers.
No, never.
But this kind of cuisine, a lot of Taiwanese are not so familiar with Mediterranean cuisine.
It's true. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes like lemon or too much olive oil, or of course, maybe they don't like, but they need to understand for keep the standard,
And that starts with the staff understanding the food as well. And would the same go for the whole menu? So everything from the appetizer to the dessert, the staff has to know everything about it.
Flavor,
and is that the same thing in the kitchen as well, that the kitchen staff, they need to be able to prepare everything, or do you have them specialize inside the kitchen? Some people are only working on certain parts of the menu.
Yeah, I have different parts. I have some people make the starter, other people make the meat and fish, other people make patisserie, make dessert, other people make garnish. We have pizza too.
Oh, you have a pizza?
Yeah, we have pizza, yeah.
And is that more of a Italian style or a French style or a universal style of pizza?
Italian style.
Italian style, okay. Yeah. And how thick is the crust? Because people have different feelings about how thick the crust should be.
Yeah, it's a thin one.
A thin one,
yeah.
Okay. And what are some of the toppings that you make available for the pizza? Because the reason why I asked that question, Chef Fred, is when I came to Taiwan, to my shock, because I come from New York City, and like a lot of places in America, we think we have great pizza, like Chicago or New York, they always battle who has the better pizza. And I come to Taiwan, and to my shock, I learned that they put pineapple and tuna and corn on pizza. So what's on your pizzas?
No, it's very traditional.
Okay.
But I use only very nice products. And I make buffalo pizza. I use real mozzarella buffalo.
And where does the mozzarella come from? You make it yourself?
No, it's come from Italy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I use some local ingredients like a basil. I like Taiwanese basil, so I switch. But no put pineapple or corn. No.
Okay.
And we have very famous sausage pizza now. So we make handmade sausage.
And the sausage is, handmade?
It's my recipe, yeah.
Okay, so wow, you have all these exclusive recipes. You have the squid, you have the chocolate sorbet, you have your tiramisu, pistachio and strawberry, and you have the pizza with your
sausage.
Secret exclusive sausage recipe. Okay, we've been joined today by Chef Fred from the Indigo North, the TR Bar and Kitchen, which is a great new hotel with a great restaurant in Taipei. Safe to go out to restaurants during the virus because good chefs know how to keep the restaurant safe. Chef Fred, I wish you best of luck in your new restaurant, and thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much.
You've been listening to the Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station with Ross Feingold.